Spiritual Living. My name is Joni Bauman. I'm a licensed religious science practitioner, and I'll be giving you the announcements today. A huge thank you to everyone joining us today in person and on Facebook page for our meditation and Sunday celebration. Today we are extremely excited to have the internationally known team of Melissa and Z as our guest speakers and featured musicians. Yay! After service, they will facilitate their Oh My God Life workshop if we have 10 people signed up, and I think we're really close, so if someone is interested, please sign up. Melissa and Z's visit is sponsored by Lotus Flower Living Holistic Counseling, owned by one of our own practitioners, Julie Matheson. Hey, Julie. Thank you to everyone that has brought in donations for our new community outreach opportunity with JUST, which stands for Justice, Unity, and Social Transformation. Our final collection Sunday is today, and we're asking you to join us as we gather and distribute items to the Hilltop community on this Saturday, October 16th from 11 to 2 p.m. Matt Vidal is leading the CCSL effort, so if serving the Columbus community calls to you, please reach out to Matt at matthew.vidal@gmail.com for more details. If you would like prayer after service or any time throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our Facebook page. Today after service, they will be in the anteroom just outside these doors. Well, that's the news for today. Let's all stand and sing our opening song, Gonna Let Spirit Love Me.
Goes like this. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of His love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of His love with me. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of His love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of His love. After me, Spirit loves me.
Spirit loves me.
I know that.
I know that.
Spirit loves me.
Spirit loves me.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of His love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of His love. Yeah. When I'm down, I turn to you.
Turn to you.
When I'm down,
When I'm down,
you pull me through.
pull me through.
Yeah, gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of His love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of His love. See,
All alone, feeling broken, I don't know where to go. Got a feeling if I'm willing, Spirit's opening the door, so I'm asking. Passing time while I'm crashing in the last sad gas, no conclusion, and it's slow. A little knowing that I won't let go. Can't ignore it, and you know I won't, 'cause it's growing in the open door. Hoping now Spirit holds my soul and says you gotta let me love you now. You are worthy of this love, so why not let me love you now? For you are worthy of this love. Yeah.
I surrender
I surrender
everything.
every little thing.
I surrender.
I surrender.
Hear me sing. I don't hear you sing. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of His love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of His love. I am worthy of His love. I am worthy of His love. Yes, I'm worthy of His love.
Good morning. What a wonderful way to start the service. Thank you. After the meditation, of course. Good morning and welcome. My name is Reverend Amy Papadulo, and it is my honor to welcome you all here this morning. No matter where you are on your spiritual journey, no matter how you show up in the world, you are welcome and celebrated here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. So as many of you know, we are live streaming as well as doing in-person services. So I'd like to say hello, good morning to all the live streamers that are watching this morning live, or also hello to those of you who are watching later on. This is being live streamed to Facebook, and I would invite any of you to share this live stream onto your Facebook page as well. We are glad you are here. We're glad you're all here in person. We're glad you're here online to join us this morning. Also, we are in the process of looking for our next senior minister, and in creating the consciousness that will attract our next senior minister, we say our sacred covenant prayer together at the beginning of each service. So, as I usually say, if it's comfortable for you, please read along with me, or please allow my words to become your words. I know Spirit expresses itself through each person as the one perfect life that is God's life. I recognize God is loving, gracious, abundant, and wise. And these qualities of Spirit are my qualities as well as the qualities of the whole Pomona Center for Spiritual Living community. I know the power of affirmative prayer, and I claim by faith and mindful action that Spirit now guides our new senior minister to CCSL. I claim my new minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. I see our chairs filled with people and families who are attracted and inspired to science of mind and spirit, and our new minister inspiring us to be our best expression of spirit within us. I affirm now our new minister helps CCSL grow and prosper, knowing that God resides in each of us and that we are co-creating with Spirit to fulfill our mission of making a world a place that works for everyone. I am thankful our prayers and affirmations bring this new minister to CCSL. I am grateful that we are building a strong and loving community of people who embrace love, wisdom, and the freedom to be a wise and loving expression of the One. I release this community prayer into the law, knowing that it is already done, and so it is. And now please read our mission statement along with me. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. So I'd like to thank Margie Stammons for the meditation this morning. She's also holding high watch so that we can deepen in consciousness as we receive the message today. So now I'd like to reintroduce Joni Bauman. Joni?
We now begin our sacred service. A beautiful reading from Maria Irving. What matters is the act of surrender. The awakening process all boils down to this: surrender. How, you may ask? Like this. Lay yourself down on the floor and let go of everything. Let go of the need to understand, the need to know how exactly to do it and what to say, how to be, and so on. Just give up the struggle. Literally just lay there and say, take me, I'm yours. Do with me what you wish. I won't resist or avoid anything anymore. I'm sincerely yours. Let go, surrender, just let go. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to seek anymore. You don't have to look for any answers or solutions anymore. Just let go. Let everything go. I'm telling you, this is the ultimate solution and answer that the awakening process leads to anyway. So you might as well save yourself years of suffering by surrendering to truth right now and let it take over your life. It all falls into place in the moment of surrender. That's when freedom and peace comes and takes over your whole being. Now let the music take us within.
As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am
And as we contemplate these beautiful words, surrender, tender yes, I am open and conscious of the divine, the source and supply of all that is, all form, all manifestation. I am made in the likeness and image of spirit, and the same holds true for all of us. As we are one with source, the eternality and immortality, and the ever-expanding power of spirit is present in all. I claim that we say yes and continue to open our minds, open our hearts, and open our souls to the knowing that spirit lives and expresses through each of us, lifting us in a never-ending spiral of perfection. On this beautiful fall day, we allow any doubts or fears to fall away as the summer is released and we prepare to enjoy the wonders of a new season. I know that as we open our consciousness, we hold a greater space to experience the rebirth and rejuvenation that is ours to experience. And we awaken to the truth that everything is working out for our highest and best. And so I it into a law, knowing that it is already done. And so with a grateful heart for our divine inheritance and immortality, please join me in saying, and so it is.
As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am
So it is my honor and my pleasure to be able to introduce Melissa and Z. Reverend Z. Egloff is a cartoonist, spoken word artist, and award-winning author of the spiritual humor blog Life in ZB, a goofball's guide to enlightenment. Their wife, Reverend Dr. Melissa Felipe, is a singer-songwriter and teacher with 9 albums of original music in release. Both Melissa and Z hold masters in consciousness studies. Z also holds a master's in spiritual psychology, and Melissa has an honorary doctorate for her contributions to the field of New Thought music. Melissa and Z are founders of the Oh My God Life, an online traveling ministry. Their mission is to bring radical joy to the world. So please help me welcome Melissa and Z.
Thank you so much, Reverend Amy. Thank you to everyone here who's been so welcoming and gracious to have us come here. We're really grateful to be here. I actually grew up in Oberlin, Ohio, which is 2 hours north of here, so we're home. Yeah. And this band, I think y'all know what a treasure you have here, but just in case you didn't know. So our first song has a spoken word chorus, and we would love for you to join us on it. And I believe we have a slide with lyrics. It's pretty simple. It's, I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. Say that with me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. And the second line is, I feel your peace and your presence in me. Together. I feel your peace and your presence in me. Might not have a slide, but you all know it. I can tell you have it. So that's good.
I think you have to go to that side.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Weird things.
OCDC.
Yep.
Okay. It started out small, something less than a touch. I didn't even know it was you. God was unreliable, a crazy man, righteous, someone I should love and fear. What kind of sense is that? It started out small, something less than a touch. I didn't even know it was you. When I stumbled upon your power, I lost what I was taught. The crazy and the righteous enfolded in a love so vast it stretched the very definition of the word love. your presence in me. Again, I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me.
I surrender.
Outside of me, and yet you are. It makes no sense, but then it does, for you are here wherever here may be. I speak to you, you speak to me. The voice is mine and not mine, landing in the space between where you and I vanish and begin, stretching the very definition of the word. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. Again, I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me.
I surrender.
I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your except when I don't, right? There are those times when we feel it, and we know it, and we know who we are, and then there are those other times when we forget. And today, Melissa and I want to talk about one of our favorite spiritual practices that helps us remember. And it is, one of the names for it is the I-thou relationship. So when I say the I-thou relationship, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Not really. Perfect. Awesome. So we could brainwash you. All right. So the I-thou relationship is about building a relationship with Spirit. And when I was a kid, the only name I ever heard was God, right? That's one of the many names, but the only name I ever heard was God. And when I heard God, it was a very specific image. It was a white, male, senior citizen in the sky who occasionally went off his meds. Right? Let's be real. Kind of unpredictable. And I was supposed to build a relationship with that dude, right? No, it didn't ever really work for me. And now, here we are, as modern metaphysicians who know that Spirit is everywhere, including right here. Well, how do we build a relationship with Spirit then? Is it outside? Is it inside? How does that work? That's what we want to talk about. How do we do it, and what happens when we do? All right, and Melissa is going to get us started. Melissa.
Thank you, Z.
You're welcome.
So good to be back with y'all. So when I was growing up, I went to church. My whole family went to church every Sunday. Every Sunday, we went to church. And I heard in that church about one version of God. I heard about the version of God that Z just talked about. Outside of me, and not always nice. Right? So that was the version of God I heard about. Now, when I went into 6th grade, my parents decided, wisely actually, but longer story, but to transfer me to private school. It was great, actually. But where did they transfer me? To that very church. And so now, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I went to church 6 days a week. Every morning, Monday through Friday, we started our school session by going to church. Right. Really? Yeah. And I heard more and more about that version of God. But what happens, you think of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, what starts happening is we start thinking about what we've been being told is truth, right? We start thinking, what do I think about that? Do I agree? What do I think about that? And I started not liking what I was hearing, because I was hearing about this all-loving version of God who was going to send my best friend, Donna Abrahams, to hell because she was Jewish. What? Like, it just didn't work for my brain, because I was smart enough to think, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I got really mad about it. Like, when I had any feelings, actually, yeah, any feelings went through rage, right? So I was enraged, and I turned completely away from anything spiritual, spirit-related, because it wasn't having anything to do with that version of God. I will actually never really know how much that rage and frustration and confusion led to my becoming a full-blown drug addict at the age of 13. Now I hear that, and I know that's really young, but at the time, I was all grown up at 13. So the good news is, on July 31st, the one that just happened, July 31st of this year, I had 32 years clean.
Wow.
Thank you. Very good thing. I would not be here, that's for sure, or you wouldn't have me. So, when I came into sobriety, I soon thereafter found metaphysics. It went along with my sobriety quite well, and I started hearing about a new version of God. I started hearing about this version of spirit that was everywhere present, including in me. That really worked for me. That made sense. If spirit is everywhere, then it has to be here. That worked for me, and it was healing and powerful. I still wasn't hearing about this version of God that was outside of me to have a relationship with, and that was fine. That worked for me. It was great. But then I started hearing about this other version of God. So I've since learned there are 3 faces of the divine. So it is Ken Wilber, right? He's an American philosopher. Didn't sound right when I read. Ken Wilber is an American philosopher, and he created this theory or philosophy or tenet that is that there are 3 faces of the divine. Face number 1, God, the All Spirit, as all that is, the we, the everything, everyone, all the time, everything. Second face of the divine, of God, is God as I. It's that one that you hear us talk about in these buildings, in these services all the time. If God is everywhere, then God is what is right here as me. And right where you sit, it is that allness right there moving through you. That's the second face of God, God as I. And there is a third face of the divine, of God, which is God as you. God as we, God as I, and the third face, God as you. Now, as metaphysicians, we know that this God as you, this version of God, is all loving, is truly unconditionally loving. And we know that as metaphysicians, we need to become friends with the paradox that is, it is everywhere present, including in me, and it is outside of me, and I can have a relationship with it. But even when I'm having a relationship with it outside of me, it's not only outside of me, it's inside of me. That's the paradox. It's both and. That's all true at the same time. That alone is a great meditation, just to sit with that. But what I found for myself as I have deepened in that relationship, in that third face of the divine, God as you, is that I feel like now I have a 3-dimensional relationship with spirit in a way I didn't before. How this came about is that after many years of being a musician and being in this movement, I finally actually surrendered to spirit and said, okay, I will go to ministerial school. And it just so happened that I met Z at that time, and we did ministerial school together. And in one of our classes, there was a guided meditation that we needed to do. And in this meditation, first of all, we just hung out with spirit. We just hung out. For me, it was on the beach, stereotype I know, but hung out in that energy of the one. And just that for me was life-changing. It was so powerful. Then the guided meditation guy said, ask that presence, what is your name you would have me call you? My personal name for you. And I heard very loud and very clear, the all. Oh. And it just did something in my body, and I wept, I sobbed. It was very intense and powerful and beautiful. So the next morning, when I went on my walk, and when I walk, I pray. And I start my prayer. Now, I always started my prayer, Spirit is all that is, there is only this one power and presence. And it is right here in me. It is right here, right where I am. And that morning, I started walking, and I said, good morning, be all. Oh, and I felt like my chest exploded. It's like my heart just opened up, and I felt this love pouring through. And I said, you are all that is, and you are right here in me. You are all. It was life-changing. I never went back to my previous way of praying. But after a while, it started to feel kind of cumbersome to refer to Spirit every time. Instead of God, God's nice and short, but I had to say the all, right? Started to just feel kind of long. Good morning, the all. I know the all is the all, the all. So one morning, again while walking, I said to the all, so it's feeling kind of long to call you the all, and I'm wondering if it would be okay if I had a nickname for you, and I just take the first 2 letters of each of those words, and I call you Ta. And I heard, again, like a loud, clear voice, laughter, and then, I do not care what you call me. So my personal nickname for Spirit is Ta, which just does a thing for me. It is really the right name for me to call Spirit, because when I refer to Ta as Ta, and sometimes that's my meditation, just Ta, 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 yeah. Deep for me. The thing is, when we have relationships with other people, that's kind of the evolution, right? We get closer to them, and we end up with a nickname for them, right? Like in our house, I know if I hear Z call out Melissa, I'm in trouble. And vice versa. If Z hears me say Z, they know they have done something, and they are about to hear about it, right? Because I am baby, and Z is baby. It's just what we call each other. We didn't start like that, but it's what we call each other now. Just is my name in our house. So what happens in relationships? How do we deepen in our intimacy? How do we do that? We spend time with someone, or something in this case, if it's Spirit, right? We spend time and we communicate. We talk and we listen. Now the cool thing about this is as we deepen in that intimacy with a person or Spirit, we start to recognize the voice. You know how a good friend calls you, and before the phone told you who it was, and you pick up and you know exactly, you know it's them, but you also know what's going on for them by their hello. You know that thing? When we have that kind of intimacy with Spirit, we really can more and more easily and more fully trust our own inner knowing, our intuition, because we know that voice. We know that voice as compared to like the egoic structure, I want. We recognize the voice with that intimacy. Time spent hanging out, communicating, talking, and listening. So we have 3 hacks for you to speed up that development of intimacy, which is what we're encouraging today for you, for us all. And step number one is declare that you are wanting a deeper walk. I want to deepen the intimacy I have with Spirit, with you. Step number 2, we recommend, because it was so good for us, to ask Spirit, what is the name that is my perfect name to call you? And just wait till something comes. Some people have told us some really fun things that they get. Some of them are funny and couldn't be repeated from the stage, but they're freaking awesome how Spirit has its own name for each of us to call it. That resonates. And then 3, we love this prayer. So we weren't always doing this prayer, forthcoming here. We weren't, but now when we do it, we realize it's like the coverall prayer. So what that is Spirit, deepen my walk with you. Please, I'm asking and opening to receive whatever needs to come through me for me to have a deeper intimacy, a deeper walk with you. Now here's the cool thing about that prayer, what we realized after praying. churches, we pray. Like, we pray for things. We pray for car, we pay for parking spot for the car. We pray for relationships and money and health for people and like, we pray, right? We pray. But when we pray for a deeper walk with Spirit, everything else is in that. Because Spirit will guide us when we are able to listen and follow and trust and surrender and follow. And did I mention follow? Then we are led to the greatest good, the greatest life that is available for us. Yay. And so to talk more about that, I give you my wife, Reverend Baby.
Okay, I'm not in trouble. I love the ILF relationship, and really actively, consciously cultivating it has changed my life for the better, immeasurably. When Melissa and I were about to graduate from ministerial school, I got this one particular download from Spirit. So cultivating this relationship allows me to hear messages from Spirit, right? So I get this download from Spirit when we're about to graduate that changed everything for us. But in order for that to make sense, I first have to tell you a story about a cat. All right. So this was several decades ago now. I was coming out of a difficult breakup, and I was miserable. And I decided that what I needed to make me feel better was a cat, right? And every other cat I'd ever gotten in my life at that point had come to me, as cats will do, right? Like showed up at my doorstep, or a friend said, "Do you need a cat?" or whatever. But that wasn't happening, because I'm like, "Hey, Spirit, bring me my cat." Nope. So I finally decided I'm going to take matters into my own hands. If the cat won't come to me, I'm going to go get the cat. I go to an animal shelter about a half hour away, and they had this room with all the cats in one room where you could choose your next pet. And I go and I find this cute little tortoiseshell kitty, adorable. I pick her up. She's cuddly. She's wonderful. And I said, "That's my cat." And the staff said, "Well, no, sorry, that cat's taken. Already accounted for. But here's another one who looks just like her," right? So I go over to cat number 2, and I pick her up, and I pet her for a little bit, and then she bites me pretty hard. So I put her down, and I said, "I'll take her." I wanted my cat, and I wanted my cat now, so sure. Except it wasn't so easy to just take her home, because they had some serious hoops to jump through. First of all, I needed to give them 2 references, 2 names, and they had to call and speak to both references to make sure that I was appropriate cat owner material. Actually, Jake and I used to say, dogs have owners, cats have staff. So they needed to make sure I was proper cat staff material. That was one hoop, so I did that, and I reached my 2 references, and then I basically had to sign this form. It was like I was purchasing a house or something. I had to say, "I will never return this cat to you, ever. And I also will never give this cat away to anyone else, like who hasn't been vetted," right? Now, I never had to go through this with any other cat I'd ever gotten, but okay, I did it. I signed my name, take the cat home, and I gave her Lucy. Okay. 2 days later, a friend of mine calls and says, "I found the perfect cat for you." And I said, "Okay, where were you 3 days ago?" At this point, I was really curious. I had to go see. So I go to this pet store really close to my house. There's this little orange male tabby, like the best. Love them. And he's totally cuddly and wonderful, and didn't scare me by attacking me, and was really easy to adopt, like super easy. My plan was not to get 2 cats, but I just thought, okay, all right, let's just do it. So I bring this kitty home, and I name him Max. So now I've got Lucy, cat number 1, and Max, cat number 2. And there's only one problem, which is Lucy and Max hate each other. Like, hate each other. Especially Lucy hated Max. I'm in a small place at this point, and they're driving me crazy. And I'm just thinking, this isn't going to work. But I can't give Lucy back, right? I had basically signed my name in blood that I would never return this cat. So it broke my heart, but I had to give Max away. I had to give him to a friend of mine. So now it's just me and Lucy. And, you know, it was weird. She had a tendency to bite. Yeah, what a surprise! Didn't see that coming, right? And you know, a lot of cats have a tail. Like, you can tell when they're about to bite or attack you. Lucy did not have that. She was stealth. You just never knew. And it was a little scary. And I love cats. I loved her, but, you know, it was a difficult cat-staff relationship. All right, fast forward 13 years later. Melissa has now joined the party. And we are about, Melissa and I, not Lucy, are about to graduate from ministerial school, and I get this download from Spirit, all right? I'm meditating, and I get this very specific message from Spirit. Spirit says to me, all right, you two are about to start your ministry. You can approach it one of two ways. You can approach your ministry like you did when you got Lucy, where you went out and made it happen on your timing. And if you do that, it's going to be pretty good, right? Like, things have been okay with Lucy, but also, it's going to bite from time to time. Or, you can approach your ministry like you did every other cat you ever got, where you did it on Spirit's timing, the organic flow. And if you do that, things are going to go way better. Now, before I got this message, I had never put that together. I had never realized, oh wow, you know, Lucy's the one cat where I really forced it to kind of happen on my timing, and it was the most difficult cat relationship I've had, right? I never even put that together. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing was, a few months after I get this download, Lucy died. Suddenly and unexpectedly, which I have to say was very much like her, right? Like suddenly it was unexpected. We found out she had a heart issue, there's nothing we could have done. So it's just, she lived her life and then she's gone. So here, Melissa and I are about to start our ministry, and we've been given very specific instructions from Spirit how to proceed. Did we listen? Well, we got a little freaked out about money. Right? Like, how are we going to make all this work? And we know we're creatives, right? We're going to be at home creating music and art and writing and all that. That's going to be, like, that's just flow for us. But as far as the doing the out-in-the-world appearance kind of things, we made some calls. And by we, I mean Melissa. So Melissa got on the phone. Hi, this is Melissa. Hi, yes, hi. Great to talk to you again. Yeah. Well, I wanted to let you know I'm a minister now. I know, right? Isn't that great? Yeah. Well, so I'm a minister now, and also, my wife is a minister too. I know I had a husband last time we talked, now I have a wife, who knew, right? Yeah. My wife's name is Z. I know, it's a little different, yeah, just the letter Z. Well, they are a minister as well. Oh no, there's just one Z. Z identifies as gender rich, whole lot of gender going on, right? And uses the pronoun they. Yes, it's also a little different, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to let you know about this really cool thing we're doing now with our music. So, I'm still singing, of course, but now Z has joined me, and Z does spoken word. Hello? Hello? Yeah, so it didn't work that well. When we tried to push and try to tell people, yeah, let's come, you don't know anything about us, but yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work. So finally we said, you know what? We're ministers. Maybe we should 100% surrender to Spirit. Like 100%. Like there's kind of a big difference between like 95 and 100, and we were sort of almost surrendering, right? It's kind of like being kind of pregnant. Yeah. So we just said, hey, we're ministers. Let's listen to the guidance that Spirit gave us, and let's surrender. So we did. And it wasn't all at once, all of a sudden, but we started to get just more calls, just without pushing, right? People who knew about us and said, hey, can you come here? And also, we had decided that we don't do workshops, we don't do retreats, for example, but we got asked, we got some calls, people asking us to do workshops and retreats, and we said, oh, okay, we're surrendering, let's try it. Turned out we loved it. It was great. We also started to notice that as we surrender to Spirit, right, Spirit's guidance, do this, go there, all that, we started to watch our whole ministry come together, because we're at home, doing things, putting things out online, and then going out in the world, and we started to see how everything fit together like this puzzle, right? Like all the online stuff is supporting the out in the world and vice versa. And people would come up to us and say, wow, your business plan, your marketing strategy, it's just so top-notch. And we go, I know, right? Like, none of this is our idea. We also started to notice that there's that metaphor people use sometimes for faith. And they say, faith is like you're driving, and you could only see as far as your headlights, right? That's all you can see, and you just have to go on faith. Well, for us, it felt like a lot of the time, we couldn't even see that far ahead, right? Like, it was just like fog, like nothing, right? And so, we just had to take our hands off the wheel. We just really had to let Spirit do it in a way that was much more scary. I mean, it's not surprising we didn't want to surrender, right? It was scary to have that level of 100% surrender. But it deepened our connection with Spirit because of it. So at the same time there's all this surrendering going on, Melissa is out, I'm visiting my folks up in Ohio here, and Melissa's out shopping and runs into a friend of ours who says, hey, by any chance, do you want a cat? Because I have this cat. And meet someone who loves cats but doesn't have any other cats. And Melissa's like, well, actually, we would like another cat, long story, but sure. So she sends me the picture of this cat. And my folks in Ohio, and I look at this cat and I say, that's our cat. Like, that's our guy. She said, I know, right? And then that night, I got another download from Spirit that said, that cat's name is Max. Now, as we've established now, I like to talk back to Spirit, so I said, no, I already had a cat named Max. This cat can't be named Max. Whatever. The next day, Melissa calls me and she says, okay, this is going to sound weird because I know you already had another cat named Max, but I keep getting that cat's name is Max. So, Max came home to live with us, and needless to say, he is the most amazing cat I've ever had. He's so incredible. He's our ministry's mascot. And when I was putting this talk together, when we were putting this talk together, I realized why, for the first time, years in now, why his name is Max. Because the first Max I had was the surrendered virgin, right? The kitty that came easily, no problem, to adopt, a friend told me, right? That was the surrendered version, and Lucy was like forcing it. But I had to give Max up. I had to, because I'd already found myself in this other situation, right? Had to let go of that surrendered kitty. But it's never too late to surrender to Spirit. And so Spirit gave me another Max. As a reminder, it's never too late to surrender to Spirit. So we have a picture of our little guy here. There he is. So we call him our little rubber-nosed prince. He can't come with us on the road, unfortunately, but he has a nice kitty sitter at home. So that's our guy. That's our ministry's mascot. Because anytime we start to feel scared, we can't do this, we want to grip onto that wheel, it's too hard, we can't, we just look at those eyes. Because those eyes remind us we're safe. We're safe. Spirit, surrendering to Spirit is not giving up. Surrendering to Spirit is empowered surrender. Because when we surrender to Spirit, our lives just keep getting better and better and better. All the time. Life gets better all the time. And it doesn't bite. Right? So please repeat after me. It's never too late to surrender to Spirit.
It's never too late to surrender to Spirit.
And Spirit is so much smarter than I am.
Spirit is so much smarter than I am.
Let us pray. grace, beauty, wisdom, infinite in scope, beyond what I can even begin to grasp or imagine. And yet you are here, right here, in me, as me. And this is the truth of every one of us here, everyone online, everyone who's watching this later, and everyone on the planet and beyond. We are all emanations of you. And so I speak my word right here, right now, for each and every one of us hearing this prayer, that we right now set our intention to deepen this connection with who and what we already are. That we open to the name that Spirit would have us call it, and that we pray, we open in prayer to have Spirit itself deepen our connection with it, with that one, with that grace, that power, that energy. And oh, I am grateful for this prayer, for answered prayer, for this knowing, this deep, rich connection with the one I am grateful.
Let me let me deepen my
And as I release this prayer to the one, knowing it is done, if you are in alignment, please repeat after me. Amen. Ashe. And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen. So one of our favorite examples of the I-thou relationship is the story of Harriet Tubman. So we wrote a song about her.
no matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling
True story. When Harriet Tubman first escaped from slavery, she heard a voice that said, "I want you to help free others." Do you know what Harriet Tubman said to that voice? She said, "No." She said, "Not me." She said, "I can't. I can't." But the voice wouldn't let up. It wouldn't let her be. "I want you to help free others. I want you to help free others." Finally, Harriet Tubman, the woman who would be known as Moses, said yes. Yes. Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just the people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. This
Spirit doesn't mess around. When you listen to that voice, you are never the same. When you listen to that voice, you are free. And it doesn't stop there. You take others with you. 750 are still alive today. They're your sisters and your brothers in struggle and in pain. They're your doubts and your fears. When you say, I can't, but you can. And you will. When you walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night. Step by step, she followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. You told her when to move. You told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just a people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listen every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light. No matter where your journey is starting from, there is a voice calling you in, taking you home. You gotta walk by faith,
Not by sight.
not by sight.
Step by step, she followed the voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. She told her when to move. She told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just the people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
Let that northern star be your guide.
It wasn't just the people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
Wow. I didn't know I needed that, but wow, I needed that. Thank you. So now it is the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for all the ways that you have continued to give and support our center, especially during this time of COVID. Your donations, your gifts, your tithes are important to us because it helps us fulfill our mission of a world that works for everyone. And as we engage in the law of circulation, we remember that God is our source and we are simply circulating Spirit's energy in the form of money. Please say our, before I go there, if anybody wants to pay by credit card, Robin has the square. You have the square up there with you? She has a square up there with her. So now, please say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
As we witness the law of circulation, we're going to sing, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I
I know that the gifts presented here are given and received with love, joy, a sense of abundance beyond this world. So thankful that we are all one, and for the many gifts we bring. Together we sing, and so it is.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
So I'd like to thank our guest speakers and featured musicians, Melissa and Z.
Oh, we're going to say something? Let's see.
Sorry, you
Let's see. Well, first of all, the workshop. I believe we had 9 signups, so we just need one more person. And we have it. Okay, so the workshop's on. That's awesome. And it was going to start at noon. Is that going to still work? Maybe a little after 12:15, because that'll give you all time to get a little food and something. And also we wanted to let you know that out there somewhere, I think right around there, we have our table. We call it our Oh My God Life mini mall.
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
What should they know about the workshop?
Oh, yeah, I guess I should tell you a little bit about the workshop. It's about our Oh My God practice. So we have unique gratitude practice that we've developed. It has 3 parts, 2 of which are totally unique to us. And
We have a brand new book.
We have a brand new book about
If
it.
you can't do the workshop and you're interested in it, it's a gratitude practice. It's magical. It is. It
Yes.
fixes our life, makes it better every day. We do the practice a lot. It's great. And the workshop teaches you, and you will experience doing it, so you'll have a deeper understanding and experience of it.
And if you come to the workshop, we'll give you a discount on the book too. Yes. Yeah. And if you can't make it, get the book. You'll learn everything you need to know. Okay.
Now,
That's what I meant to say about that. And then also we have our Oh My God Life mini mall out there, which helps support our ministry. So we have all kinds of stuff out there to purchase and take home with you, and some free cards and other things like that. And then
we have a mailing list, so our mailing list, of course, is free. And if you sign up on our mailing list, you will get 2 free videos every month. We do a lot of video. So you get video that always has music. It's either a prayer or meditation or a message, brief little message. They're always 10 minutes or less. They're usually less. And then our very favorite thing that we do is that every year we write and record a new birthday song. So that we always know who gets it already. So if you're on our mailing list, you will get a video from us on the morning of your birthday in your email. It actually comes about 12:02 a.m.
something like that.
So it'll be your first little email. And we do that. We send that to y'all every year, a new one. It's our favorite thing.
It's really fun.
Our mailing list is at our table as well. So, yes? Because of the mask?
Is this a testimony?
Oh, a testimony.
We didn't pay her. So, when were y'all here?
We were here 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so 2.5 years ago, I had wonderful friends here, but no love in my life. And my bank account was 0 at 69 years of age. I now have this fabulous man, Greg. I actually have like almost $20,000 in savings in 2.5 years. So this, oh my God, works.
Oh wow, I remember you.
You know, one of our examples in the class, actually, when we have people who have a hard time and we help them get it. That's another. You just have to come to the workshop and find out. I didn't mean to do that like that, but there you go. But if you enjoyed us at all, there you go. Lots of opportunities. So thank you.
We will
Thank
stop
you so
talking.
much for having us again.
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful to be back.
My birthday is Thursday. I'm still signing up.
Yes, absolutely.
So now I'd like to do all of these thank yous that we do at the end of our service. Thank you to practitioner Margie Sammons for doing the meditation and for holding my watch. Thank you to Joni Bauman for being the practitioner of the day you to our center trio. Tony Bernardi on piano, Steve Caracas on bass, and Jimmy Casto on drums. We also want to thank Rob Kuhn for the sounds. Thank you, Julie Colburn, for being our service coordinator. Thank you, Tammy, for stepping in to do our live streaming today. Thank you, Tammy. And thank you, Robin, for being Robin. Joining our slides. And thank you all for being here. There's lots of other places you could have been this morning, and you chose to be here with us, and we are thrilled. Thank you. And thank you for watching this morning, or thank you for watching later on. If you are joining us for the very first time today, either in person or online, we have information about who we are, what we believe, and what we practice. Julie has some packets back there. If you're interested, you can stop and see her. And if you're watching online and you're interested in knowing more about who we are or what we practice and believe, please send us a Facebook message or call the office. So that is our service for today. Please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.